Welcome to the Cinephiles KARE 11 Plus show, where we got a movie lover, a movie snob, and the independent film critic of the year, by the way, Brian Eggert here. We get together, we talk all things film. Each episode, we highlight the new releases that we think you should see. We dive into the films that we love, and we got some cool lists. We got a little bit of news and a little bit of trash bin today, too. First up, it's the summer blockbuster, everybody. It's the big one people have been waiting for. Does it hold up? How do they redo it? Superman.
So, James Gunn spares us doing another origin story. He starts the movie out mid-battle, almost in the second act. It feels like he doesn't need to introduce characters. He doesn't need to tell us who Lex Luthor is, or Lois Lane is, or
Clark Kent,
or any of these things. He just plunges us into the action and tells what I think is a very modern story, updating Superman in a way that feels very James Gunn. It doesn't feel like of course it's a studio project, but it doesn't feel like an anonymous filmmaker made this. This is a James Gunn film, and in the way that, he's doing needle drops, he's doing kind of a group dynamic for it's not only Superman, but it's all these other bizarre characters, very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, where Mr. Terrific shows up. I don't know who Mr. Terrific is, but he's in this movie.
And I love him now that he's in this movie.
Right. There's a different Green Lantern. There's Hawkgirl, who's awesome. And they're all kind of working together to stop Lex Luthor, who's trying to delegitimize Superman in the eyes of the world. And he goes about this through this elaborate scheme that I could see someone finding too messy, or like too many elements, but it all sort of comes together in the end. He's manipulating social media, he's manipulating politics, he's doing arms deals, he has something called a pocket universe, and this all kind of...
All four of those things are really happening right now.
Right.
Sorry.
Lex Luthor, he's a bald billionaire who's like basically a composite of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump. He's a guy who's trying to present himself as a king. It's a very, and it's not too preachy about these things. It's not like commenting on modern politics, but it's there if you want to read into it. Above all, it's super entertaining. The characters are very endearing. I was very worried about this film. I went in pretty skeptical because I frankly didn't want another Superman origin story. I saw the trailer. I didn't want to see a CGI dog named Krypto, and I thought that was like, oh, what a CGI dog. But 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh my god, this is the cutest animal in the world. And then the message is great. Superman is somebody who doesn't see people from another country as another country. They're all just earthlings. They're all just living beings.
Interesting.
At one point, he's fighting a giant monster, and he stops to save a squirrel. Like, that is Superman. He cares about all of us equally, and it was great. I found it really inspirational and incredibly entertaining.
What do you think, Jamie?
James Gunned.
Totally.
Period. Like, if you don't like the DC cinematic universe, you'll probably like this one.
So did he marvel it up?
But it's great.
Did he kind of marvel it up a little bit in that sense?
Yeah.
Is it funny?
Yes. It's funny. It's fun. It has a nice message. There's, like you said, like a undertone that you can read into if you want to, or you can ignore it if you want to. I was really pessimistic going in there. I was like, I don't really care. I don't want to see this. And I brought someone with me because I was like, I know that I'm going to be not happy about this and I'm going to be rude. I need you to be in the chair next to me so that I can ask you, was it really that bad? And I actually didn't say, is it really that bad? I really enjoyed it.
All right, then the Cynic Files got turned upside down this time. So what would you rate it?
I'd say see it.
See it.
See it? Okay, there we go. Superman. It's a Warner Brothers film. We got to see it. Double up for $1. Coming up next, we got Jurassic World Rebirth. We all know about this series. Jurassic World was a huge blockbuster hit. Let's take a look with the Rebirth.
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I suppose we could try and get it from the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Has it been long enough to do another one? Did we forget about it all and reset it? Did we rebirth?
So here's the thing. I don't know why Rebirth is in the title.
Isn't it obvious?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any idea why that is there. I don't feel like we really reset. I don't feel like this is new. It's a lot of stuff that we've seen before, but I had a good time. Jurassic Park came out June 12th, 1993. I was born June 12th, 1993. You would think that this would be my favorite series in the entire world.
Word.
It's not.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed Jurassic Park. I really enjoyed that original series. Jurassic World was fine.
Yeah.
It was the best of the ones since 2015, I think. But this one, it nodded back to the original Jurassic Park. Jonathan Bailey did really well. Mahershala Ali, Scarlett Johansson, all of the characters, I think their performances were really, really well done. They're a little thin. I think the plot line, it seems like all of these big set pieces strung together so that we can see the dinosaurs and see the action.
What is the plot line in this one?
So the plot line is there is a billionaire that works in pharmaceuticals. He has figured out that the 3 largest dinosaurs on the planet, which have now migrated to the equator because they've learned that they can't survive with us in every climate, in every part of the world. The 3 biggest dinosaurs, if you take their DNA, you can cure heart disease.
So in order to take their DNA, you have to
go to the dinosaurs and
go to the
try
dinos. Okay, interesting.
extract it. Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was really good. I thought I
could
it
just
was
see the
fine.
boardroom, like, how about this for the idea?
Exactly.
The 3 biggest dinosaurs, you have to take their blood and it'll cure us. You see?
And
you see the plot?
It's the biggest one on land, the biggest one in sea, and the
air.
biggest one in air.
There you go.
Yeah, there you have it.
Interesting.
And yeah, so it's not a perfect film by any means, but I did have a good time watching it.
What'd you think, Brian?
Yeah, I agree. It was a good time. It's one of those movies that you spend any amount of time thinking about how it's structured and how it's shot, and I don't know, it all sort of falls apart. Gareth Edwards, who directed it, he made Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and Monsters from 2010, and The Creator. He spends a lot of time paying homage to Spielberg, and I think had he not done that, I probably would have been more invested in what was going on. But I was really distracted about, for the sea monster, there's a sequence that's very reminiscent of Jaws. For the sky dinosaur, there's a sequence where they have to go into an old tomb and he picks up an egg, and it's like a shot that's taken
Indiana
directly
Jones.
from Indiana Jones.
Thanks.
There's Jurassic Park callbacks, and it's just like
your own thing.
all these visual nods. Like, of course, Spielberg sort of defined the language of blockbusters, the visual language of blockbusters. We don't need that repeated to us because we've seen that before.
This would be so obvious. Too. Yeah.
So, there are some people who aren't going to notice that and aren't going to care, and that's not going to bother them, and they're going to have a good time. For me, it was just like, okay, you could have just done something original, and this story, which is perfectly adequate, by no means exceptional, but not much better than, I would say it's much better than the last 2 movies.
I would agree.
Holds on its own. Okay. It's just all those visual touches that I found really kind of distractingly derivative. But I was entertained.
On the count of 3, give me your ratings. 1, 2, 3.
Try it.
All right, we got to see it. We got to
Look
try
at
it. We got to see it. We got to try it. All right, that sounds good. I think we all agree that Superman was a much better blockbuster. Yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Coming up in the second block here, we have our top 5 favorite movies of, what year is it?
2025.
2027.
Well, our favorite movies.
2025 so far. We got your movie news, we got your trash can, and who's going to be the next Bond when we come back. Welcome back. Here are the movie news headlines that you may have missed over the holiday weekend. Jurassic World Rebirth saw a worldwide opening of $322 million worldwide, with $147 million domestic over 5 days and $174 million foreign take. It is the second biggest opening for a Jurassic movie in the franchise, behind 2015's Jurassic World, with more than $500 million. Fantastic. Universal Pictures, the studio behind Jurassic World Rebirth and Christopher Nolan's upcoming epic, The Odyssey, released a 70-second teaser trailer. Some fans online joked that they went to the theater specifically just to see the teaser and left before the Jurassic film started. The teaser, which features Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal, has since been leaked online. The Hollywood Walk of Fame announced their 2026 class. Among those receiving their star are Miley Cyrus and Timothée Chalamet, who are joining Pentatonix and the Jonas Brothers as the only people born in the 90s to have a star. Congratulations, well earned. And finally, Denis Villeneuve has been announced. Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got
Denis Villeneuve.
You're good.
I'm not making fun. I just think it's a great creative French name. Denis Villeneuve. Fair?
Close enough.
Close enough. Well, he's been announced as the director for the next Bond film, which I am so excited for, and so excited for him to direct. That's not the news part, that's an opinion part. We're back to news. Anyway, it's via Amazon MGM Studios, launching quite the debate for who should play the iconic character next.
Brian thinks we're going to say the same person, but I don't think we are. So Brian, go first.
Knowing that you love Monkey Man, I think it should be Dev Patel.
Okay, so Dev Patel is on my list.
Great.
Basically, if you were on the UK version of Skins, you're on the list. Because I think they want somebody in their 30s.
Sure.
And I think they want somebody that's a little bit lesser known. So who I wrote down is, I think that they're going to talk to Tom Holland, Jacob Elordi, and Harris Dickinson. I think that they said that on the internet.
Tom Cruise.
Why not? He's in his 30s. But I think Dev Patel, Daniel Kaluuya, and Callum Turner would be good options.
Totally.
The person that I think would be my pick if I were to choose one is Ed Holcroft. Do either of you know who Ed Holcroft is?
Refresh my memory. I'm moving.
He is Charlie in Kingsman. He's the baddie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think
Okay.
he's in his early 30s. He can play a baddie. He can play a goodie, and women find him attractive.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Grandpa Bond.
There you have it.
Grandpa Bond. We should do Grandpa Bond.
Yes, Chris can do it. Anyway, so we were going to talk about our top 5 movies of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's Brian gonna pick?
He said Dev Patel.
I said Dev Patel.
That's the only one?
That's the only one that I don't think.
Henry Cavill?
I don't know. All the other options, Jacob Elordi and Tom Holland, these are not Bond people to me, or they're just so bland that it's they're not interesting. Dev Patel is somebody new. He's somebody who has played dark characters before. He's charming. But he can be great in an action scene. I think he's perfect. So
I think he is too.
He is my one and only choice, and I will probably be disappointed with anyone else.
Yeah, that's fair. Clearly, everybody else wasn't listening to you, but I need you to know that I was listening to you.
Thank you.
But we were going to talk about our top 5 movies each of the year. Why don't you start us off? Tell us, sir, your number 5.
All right, my number 5 is, it's a tie for my number 5. 2 Steven Soderbergh films, Black Bag and Presence. These are both written by David Koepp, and both just perfect little exercises in genre. Black Bag is a spy thriller that is just a precision work of machinery. There's no fat on this thing. It's very dialogue driven, minimal violence, yet kept me wrapped for 90 minutes. The second is Presence, which is a supernatural thriller where the camera is in the POV of the ghost, and it's not necessarily scary, but it is quite thrilling.
Perfect. My number 5 is Mickey 17. It is during a human exhibition to colonize space. Mickey 17 is a so-called expendable employee and is sent to explore an ice planet. It stars Robert Pattinson. It's directed and written by Bong Joon-ho. I think it's more of a romantic movie than a sci-fi mystery thriller movie. But Naomi Ackie's in it. Mark Ruffalo's in it. Everybody loves Robert Pattinson. I think number 5, Mickey 17.
Perfect. My number 4 is The Shrouds. I'm still wrestling with and admiring the latest from David Cronenberg. He might be my favorite director of all time. This is a story about a man whose wife is dying, and he invents a machine that can wrap around her when she's passed, and he can watch her body decay. And this is a way of him processing her death. It's very personal for the director. His wife just passed away, actually, so he's clearly working through some stuff in his art. I found it really oddly funny and emotional, and unlike anything I've ever seen.
Amazing. My number 4 is Plain Clothes. It is a promising undercover officer assigned to lure and arrest gay men in, I believe, the 90s. Defies orders when he falls in love with a target. Stars Tom Blythe and Russell Tovey. It's shot on a lo-fi VHS camera for some aspects of the movie. I don't want to give too much away. I saw it at Sundance. It's coming out this fall. Everybody needs to watch it. Also, I talked to the cinematographer. I'll link that in my social media.
My number 3 is The Life of Chuck. So we talked about this a few weeks back, and it's still with me. Just a powerful film, directed by Mike Flanagan, written by Stephen King. Nobody adapts Stephen King better than Mike Flanagan at this point, I think. Maybe only Frank Darabont. Not a lot of people saw this. Check it out.
Go see it.
Go see it. If it's not in theaters, put it on the top of your watch list.
This was also my number 3, so we can skip past my number 3. Just say watch episode 3 of Cinephiles. We talked about this movie in depth.
My number 2 is also Mickey's 17. I absolutely love this movie. It's one of those kind of undefinable movies that, yes, there's a romantic piece, like Jamie said, but there's sci-fi, there's politics, there's incredible message. It seems like chaos to some people. For me, there's a method to the madness, and I absolutely loved it.
Perfect. My number 2 is Sorry Baby. It is Ava Victor's writer, or she wrote it, but it's her directorial debut. Chris and Brian, why don't you come look at this VO real quick? What's that?
Oh, look at you. The world, a film the world needs.
That's
Jamie
me on
Rogers,
the poster.
The playlist.
Anyway.
You're on the poster?
Yeah.
You're on the poster.
That's me quoted on the poster, Christopher.
Let's go.
So anyway, I said that this is a film the world needs because I think that the women who see it are going to feel seen in a way that they've never been seen before, and I think the men who see it are going to learn something from it. As well, I think we're going to cover this on our next episode, and I chatted with the cast, so look out for that one.
You're quoted on the poster.
I know!
We made it!
I cried in the newsroom
Oh my God!
when I found out.
Yes!
Anyway, number 1, Brian.
My number 1 is Sinners. Warner Brothers released 2 major blockbusters this year made by auteur filmmakers. One was Mickey 17. That one bombed, unfortunately. Sinners did not. It's one of the most talked about movies of the year for good reason. This is great auteur filmmaking. It's absolutely dynamic, has a lot to say. It's also just a really good vampire movie. So,
Available on HBO now. Max,
Correct.
excuse me.
Correct. My number 1 is Rebuilding. It is a movie that I also saw at Sundance. It is Max Walker Silverman's sophomore feature. It stars Josh O'Connor, Megan Faye, Lily Torre, I believe is how you say her last name. She's a little girl. She's great. She's only really been in a couple things. It's one of 3 or 4 Josh O'Connor movies that are coming out this year. If you see any of them, I think you should see this one. He's a rancher. He loses his house. Stuff unfolds from there. So there you have it. Those are our top 5, I guess.
all right.
Anything else to say?
No. Cherry Coke.
All right. Get a cherry Coke. We'll be right back.
All right, time for our Cinegift review from the last episode. You had a wonderful recommendation. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Tell us about the flick.
So High and Low is an Akira Kurosawa film released in 1963. It's a kidnapping thriller. It's based on an American book, actually, called King's Ransom, written by Ed McBain. It's kind of a hard-boiled kidnapping thriller. And they very loosely adapted it to post-war Japan. The story is about a shoe executive who's negotiating kind of a corporate takeover, and he needs about 50 million yen to execute this takeover. But then he finds out that his son was kidnapped, and they're asking for a ransom that will make his corporate takeover impossible. At first, he's willing, no hesitation, he's willing to pay the ransom. But then he finds out that the kidnapper actually took his chauffeur's son, and has to kind of question whether or not, he wants to put forth the money for a kid who's not his. From there, it goes into a police procedural where they're trying to locate the kidnapper. The movie's kind of divided into 2 halves. One is very much like a chamber drama that's all set in the executive's home, and the other is a very cinema verite, like on the streets, crime story where they're tracking down clues and trying to locate the kidnapper. if that all sounds maybe typical for today, I think there's a deep, very thoughtful commentary on class and the choices we make and the ramifications of those choices. It's also a very odd film for Kurosawa, who didn't make many very contemporary set films. He's known for samurai films like Seven Samurai and Yojimbo, and this was sort of breaking the mold a little bit, and it remains just I don't know, for me, a masterpiece. It's one of the few films that I've written about in my essay series, The Definitives. I absolutely love it. What did you guys think?
I loved it too. I was bored for the first 3 minutes, and I go, why are we talking about women's shoes? And then the kidnapping happened. I go, oh, and it's a boy. And I thought it was wonderful. The first part of the film took place in that one room. It was almost Hitchcockian, right? Where it was just a one-room thriller. But then you see elements of Seven. You see elements of Sneakers, where the detectives pick up the train trolley sounds and an audio recording. The tension builds, and what I kept thinking of was, you don't need CGI. You don't need big name actors. You don't need a lot of money. You need a great story and good actors to tell a great story. And the story itself builds suspense. It slowly builds suspense through the whole thing until the end, and it gets very real. Also, I didn't come to the epiphany of the title until we were talking about it in the hallway. This is a story about the battle for people's souls. How do you react when you are confronted with doing the right thing or the wrong thing? And right split in the middle of that is literally Occupy Wall Street back in 1960.
Sure.
It's a guy who is angry and murderously pissed at the rich for being rich. And he has two ways to take that out. He can make his own dream and get rich himself, or he can show vengeance through kidnapping and theft. And then there's the guy who's high up on the mountain, and he can show humility through giving the money and saving this boy's life, or he can be selfish and continue his empire thinking that money will make him happy. It's literally high and low, angels and demons, and I love how you bring back these OG films, because I've never seen it.
Sure.
They're literally the originals, and everything is copied after this stuff, and there's a reason why it holds up. And I had no problem with the subtitles on this one. I thought the screenplay was very well written, and I loved it, so thank you.
I think the subtitles made me pay attention to it more, because this is something obviously that I had to watch at home, and I have 2 dogs, and I have ADHD, and it's an older movie, so it's a little bit slower. It's not so in your face. And so I'm like, oh goodness, am I going to be able to sit here and give it my attention?
But then it moved.
And it moved, and the subtitles kept me in it. And I thought that, not that I can say anything that you guys haven't said already, but I think there's a mystery to it, but it's really engaging, and you don't get lost in that. And it, like you said, it's kind of split into 2. There's the thriller, the kidnapping story, and then the police procedural story, and I love a police procedural.
Oh, it was smart. It was so smart.
I love it.
It was smart.
It was so smart.
And 60s smart, before big tech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'll add 2 more things.
Yes.
One, my children were like, what are you doing, Dad? We want to watch our YouTube. And then all of a sudden they'd be quiet, and they look and they're like, what's happening next? Louis said a bad word, Daddy. And they're into it, which means it works, even on
Great,
kids.
yeah.
And second, damn you, HBO. Damn you for putting commercials after I pay a monthly. God, I hate commercials in the middle of films. You were the one. You were the one who didn't have commercials in the middle.
Really?
And I can't take it anymore. I'm really mad at Max. Excuse me. I'm really, really angry at Max.
This is why I'm a physical media advocate. Criterion Collection put this out on an amazing Blu-ray. They're doing I think a 4K in September. No commercials, a better transfer than anything you're going to see on any streamer.
And Dan said, can't you just pay more for... Yes, that's the
but we
point.
don't want to,
We always
Dan.
paid a normal rate for HBO. Now they're like, oh, you want some more?
Max doesn't know what it's doing. 'Cause-
No.
It does, but I'm getting mad.
Well, I mean, it does, but it doesn't know what it wants to be named. It doesn't know what brand it wants to push.
A better alternative for these kind of films is the Criterion Channel. It's an $11.99 a month, no commercials ever, no matter what your subscription is, and you can see all these great art house films. And I will say,
Good tip.
you're both kind of newer to subtitles. It sounds like, but the more you watch it, the more it's like second nature, and you don't even realize that you're rating. It's just gonna seep into your mind. I do also want to point out that the star of this movie, Toshiro Mifune, was basically like the Humphrey Bogart of,
The
or the
investigator?
George Clooney.
Is he the investigator or the dad?
The executive.
The executive, okay, yeah. He's great.
The investigator was Tatsuya Nakadai, who's also a big name, and in a series of great films. But they're both huge actors in Japan at the time.
Absolutely.
Next Cinegift?
Yes. So to celebrate the casting announcement of Julia Hart's newest project, which is Don't Say Good Luck, I would like you guys to watch Miss Stevens. It's a 2016 movie. It stars Timothée Chalamet. I'm sorry, I love Timothée Chalamet, but like his early stuff is so good. Like there's a scene in this movie that's like, this is why he's a star.
Okay. Good deal.
It is streaming on Tubi. It's gonna have commercials, Chris. But all VOD platforms as well. You can rent it.
Great. Website.
Deepfocusreview.com, or you can check me out on Rotten Tomatoes as well.
You've been watching the Cinephiles. Hope you had a good time. Hey, smash that like button, but don't break it. And then tell someone about the show, because you know what? We like it. And we hope you like it. And we hope more people like it, because that's how it goes, right? See you later, everybody.